What if I told you that the most influential American genius of the last century was a man you have never heard of? A man whose predictions shaped the future in ways even governments hesitated to admit, and a man who vanished without leaving a single confirmed trace behind. Elias Mercer's story is one of mystery, brilliance, fear, and the terrifying beauty of a mind that understood the world far too deeply. Elias Mercer was born in the cold winter of 1940 in a remote wooden cabin in Montana, surrounded by endless snow and silence. His parents were ordinary people, living off the land, unaware that their newborn son would grow into one of the most extraordinary minds America would ever know. Even as a child, Elias spoke very little. He observed more than he talked. He would sit near the window of the cabin for hours, staring at the patterns in falling snow, tracing invisible shapes on the frosted glass, as if the world outside was speaking to him in ways no one else could understand. His father would often joke that Elias did not cry like other children. Instead, he watched everything with a strange calmness, as if he was already aware of things far beyond his age. By the time Elias turned 5, he began sketching symbols no one recognized. They were not alphabets, not drawings, not numbers, just intricate shapes that made perfect sense only to him. One day his mother asked him what they meant. Elias simply said, "They are things that will happen." His parents laughed at the idea, but laughter slowly turned to confusion when some of the symbols he scribbled matched events that happened shortly after. When their cow fell sick, Elias had already drawn a symbol resembling a curve that looked like a falling line. When visitors came unexpectedly, he had drawn 2 circles joined together, which he later said meant people arriving. His parents became uneasy but said nothing. At age 9, something extraordinary happened. Elias entered a school science fair and created a simple wooden model of a rocket. When the teacher asked him to explain it, he calmly said, "One day, humans will travel to the moon. They will go beyond this Earth." The entire room burst into laughter. The idea of humans landing on the moon sounded ridiculous in the early 1950s. NASA didn't even exist, but Elias never reacted. He simply watched the laughter with the same blank expression he always carried, as if he knew the world would one day realize he had been right. By his teenage years, Elias had developed an unusual ability that frightened even him. He could look at a person, an object, a field of crops, or even a social pattern and predict the near future with astonishing accuracy. He predicted droughts, mechanical failures, illness patterns, and even the exact day a neighbor would receive an unexpected letter from a relative who lived across the country. People in the small town began whispering that Elias was strange, perhaps even cursed. But Elias was never interested in attention. He spent long nights reading books on mathematics, astronomy, and early computer science. Everything he learned, he absorbed instantly, processing connections faster than the books could teach him. By the time he reached 18, he was solving complex equations that professors at universities struggled with. In 1958, when Elias was 27, he typed a long letter, 37 pages of predictions, diagrams, and warnings, and mailed it directly to the United States government. In that letter, he predicted the rise of computer networks, the birth of the internet, the Cold War timeline, satellite communications, wearable technology, digital currency, global economic shifts, and even early concepts that resembled artificial intelligence. The letter ended with a chilling line. "Humanity will gain immense power in the coming decades, but the real danger will not be machines. It will be humans misusing them." Government officials read the letter and were stunned. But instead of responding, they quietly filed the document away. The predictions seemed impossible, yet disturbingly logical. No one knew who Elias Mercer was. No scientist, no professor, no researcher, just a quiet man from Montana sending predictions that looked more like prophecies. For the next 17 years, Elias lived alone, working as a mechanic, sometimes as a farmhand, sometimes as a math tutor. No one knew that inside his simple life lived one of the sharpest minds in America. Everything changed in 1975 when a group of government scientists revisiting old records discovered the letter again. By that time, many of Elias's predictions had already come true. Alarmed and amazed, they contacted him and invited him to a confidential meeting in Washington. Elias arrived wearing a simple coat, holding nothing but a small notebook. The scientists expected a wild prophet or eccentric genius. Instead, they found a calm man who spoke slowly and logically. They asked him how he knew so much. Elias said, "I study patterns. Everything repeats. Humans think the world changes, but behavior does not. Once you see the pattern, the future becomes obvious." The scientists were fascinated. They spent hours questioning him. Elias predicted more phenomena: climate trends, economic cycles, geopolitical tensions. Everything he said felt strangely inevitable, like someone reading a script already written. For the first time in his life, Elias felt truly understood. But as more officials became involved, they began asking him dangerous questions. Could he predict political outcomes? Could he forecast threats? Could he foresee economic crashes far ahead? Elias suddenly realized the government did not want understanding. They wanted control. He walked out of the meeting and refused to return. He would not let his ability become a weapon. In 1984, a major American news channel convinced Elias to give a televised interview. Reluctantly, he agreed. Millions watched, expecting a psychic or a fraud. Instead, they saw a calm, thoughtful man explaining global patterns with an eerie clarity. When the anchor asked him if he was a prophet, Elias said, "I'm not a prophet. I just pay attention. Humans ignore the signs. I don't." The interview shocked the nation. Elias became an overnight sensation. People wrote letters begging for personal predictions. Companies offered him fortunes. Scientists wanted to study his brain. Governments demanded access to his methods. Elias rejected all of them. He warned, "If you let others decide your future, you will lose control of your own destiny." But the pressure grew. Media chased him. Analysts dissected his words. Strangers followed him. Conspiracy theorists accused him of being part of secret agencies. Elias became trapped in a spotlight he never wanted. Then, in 1997, he attended a scientific conference in California. After giving a short speech on human behavior patterns, he stepped outside, looked at the crowd, and suddenly said, "I won't interfere with the future anymore. Humanity must face what it creates." He walked away and was never seen again. No witness saw where he went. No camera captured his path. It was as though he vanished into thin air. For years, rumors spread across America. Some said he joined a secret government program. Others believed he escaped to live in the wilderness. A few believed he predicted something terrible and went into hiding. But no answer ever surfaced. Elias Mercer became a legend, discussed, feared, admired, but never found. Then in 2025, in Silicon Valley, workers renovating an old tech startup building discovered a sealed metal box buried beneath the floor. The initials on the box read E.M. Inside the box were dozens of handwritten pages filled with diagrams, timelines, and predictions for the next decade. The papers included technological revolutions, global shifts, and a warning. The future will grow faster than humans can handle. Do not let fear guide decisions. Scientists authenticated the ink, paper, and handwriting. Everything matched Elias Mercer's style. But the most shocking item was a final note. Machines will not destroy humanity. Humans misusing machines will. Remember that the future is built by choices, not predictions. The discovery reignited global interest in Elias. News channels debated his fate. Tech leaders quoted his warnings. But even with all the attention, no one found proof of where he went or whether he was alive. Elias Mercer remains the greatest American genius the world never fully recognized. A man who saw the future long before it arrived, and who disappeared because he feared the world was not ready for the truth.